Hello everybody, my name is Noah and welcome to my late review of WWE Extreme Rules 2019. This was a pretty good show. Surprisingly, it was a pretty good show. It was probably the best B show of the year. So let's get into what happened. Alright, 13 match card. We had two relatively short pre-show matches, both for around 7 minutes. First one, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental Championship. For 7 minutes and 40 seconds, they had a damn good match, but they're both incredible workers, so I'm not surprised. Finish came when Balor missed the coup de grace. Nakamura kneed him in the back of the head, and then Kinshasa him to beat Balor clean for the Intercontinental Championship. Nakamura, after not being on TV for 2 months, comes back and wins the IC title. Thank fucking God, man. Like, seriously. I love Finn. He had the belt for a good, I think, like 99 days, but just thank God that Nakamura won this fucking match, because he needed this so much. He needed this so much. So Nakamura's now the Intercontinental Championship. Not the Intercontinental Championship. Now the Intercontinental Champion. Will they book him well this time? Hopefully, but I guess we'll find out. The other pre-show match was Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese Cruiserweight Championship. This bet got short time even for a Cruiserweight title match. 7 minutes and 25 seconds. They're both great, and they have good chemistry, but you can only do much in 7 minutes and 25 seconds, and they did. Gulak won, which was the right decision. Gulak just got the belt and should not lose it back anytime soon. I think she have a pretty long reign with it. Getting into the main card, we started the show with The Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. This match got 17 minutes, and it was surprisingly tremendous. Taker looked like he had something to prove. He really did. He came out like a house of fire, and he just looked pissed at that fucking match with Goldberg at the Saudi Arabia event. I already forgot the name of the Saudi Arabia event, but he was pissed about that match, and I don't blame him because the match was terrible. But he looked fantastic. Like, this might have been his best match since the Hell in a Cell with Lesnar in 2016. Like, this is the best Taker match in a long time. He looked tremendous. Shane took the pin to Taker in this. Even there was like one botch at the end where Taker couldn't get Shane up for the tombstone, but he played it off pretty well. So Taker pinned Shane. Taker is maybe gonna have a match at SummerSlam. I don't know. You'd think he would, but we don't know anything yet. If he was gonna face anybody, it should be McIntyre. And again, I think if they face McIntyre, McIntyre should just beat him. Just beat him clean. And I think they could have a good match. But surprisingly great match to start the show. I didn't have much expectations for this, but it was great. Moving on to more tag team action, the Revival versus the Usos. This got good mat time, 12 minutes and 35 seconds. It was a good match because, it's the Revival and the Usos. They're two of the best tag teams in the world. And surprisingly, the Revival won clean, I think, which surprised the hell out of me. I actually thought the Usos were going to take it, especially since the Revival apparently are still leaving next year. But good for the Revival. They retained tag titles for now. Still think the Usos are going to end up getting it, though, because the feud apparently isn't over. Up next, Aleister Black finally gets to wrestle versus Cesaro. They ended up having a rematch of this on SmackDown, which was great as well, but this match was tremendous. They gave it, how long did they give it? Only 9 minutes and 45 seconds. It did not feel like it, though. This was just a hard-hitting, kick-ass contest. Black is tremendous. Cesaro is tremendous. They're just both tremendous. And obviously, usually, when you put two tremendous wrestlers in the ring together, they have incredible chemistry, and they did. And this was exactly the match Black needed to solidify himself back. And man, it was great. It was just great. So Black wins, obviously, with the black mask, which Cesaro sold the fuck out of as well in 9 minutes and 45 seconds. But Cesaro did his job, which was to get Black over, and man, did Black get over. Great match. Up next, Bayley versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss in a handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. If Cross and Bliss win, they become co-champions. This got more than a previous match, and it felt like it. 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Bayley and Bliss have never had good chemistry, man. I'm gonna be honest. And this was just kind of a typical one of those matches. It wasn't interesting, Bayley retained, actually, clean, without any help. I thought for sure Sasha was gonna interfere and help her, but no. Bayley just beat him clean. So, whatever ends the feud, I guess. Moving on to another tremendous match that we weren't sure if it was gonna be good or not. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. Man, they really saved that feud, huh? I don't know if it's going to continue to SummerSlam. It does not looking like it is, which is good. I think this was a good ending point. They could stretch it, but I don't know if they should. Last man standing match got 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Actually, it was the second longest match of the night, longer than the opening tag match. But man, they really capitalized off the momentum of that segment a couple years ago. A couple weeks ago, they battled all across the arena. Finish came where Strowman slammed Lashley through some kind of stage and then burst through the stage, and he just looked like a monster again. Just really reestablished Braun Strowman. So hopefully Strowman can end up getting back on track. The only problem I had with this, obviously, is Lashley lost, and he should have won. But it's not like he looked that weak in this match. But they've just kind of fucked Bobby Lashley. They really have. He really did need to win this match. But if it means Strowman gets back in the title picture, then I'm fine with it. Next up, triple threat tag team match for SmackDown Tag Team Championships. New Day versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan, who are champions, and Heavy Machinery. This got a lot of time, 14 minutes, and it was great because all these teams are great. I'm not surprised. Another good match. And surprisingly, the New Day won. I actually expected if the face tag team was going to win, Heavy Machinery was going to win, because I thought at the time that Lesnar was going to cash in on Kofi. So, I thought Lesnar was cashing in, excuse me. I had a yawn. I don't know where the fuck it just went a weird place. But I thought Lesnar was going to cash in on Kofi. They didn't. So he didn't. Spoilers. So the New Day won, and New Day are now 6-time tag champions. I guess this is their first reign though where Kofi does not count as champion under favorite rule because he's WWE champion. So this one's just Woods and Big E. Moving on, AJ Styles versus Ricochet, U.S. title. This got a lot of time, 16 minutes and 30 seconds. It was great because it's AJ Styles versus Ricochet. I'm not surprised. AJ ended up beating him due to interference by the club. AJ Styles now 3-time United States champion. There's rumored that Ricochet has an elbow injury, so I imagine they'd do a rematch at SummerSlam if Ricochet can go. I hope he can. And I would also hope Ricochet gets the belt back at SummerSlam, to be honest, just because, he only had it for less than a month. But, I mean, you could argue AJ would look weak if he lost this, considering he turned heel and all this just to beat Ricochet. So he did kind of need to win this, so I don't have a problem with that. Up next, Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. This match lasted 17 minutes. They literally yelled at each other, and Owens stunned him and won, and then cut a promo on Shane McMahon. Exactly how it should have been, to be honest. They're booking Owens incredibly well. And to be honest, if you really want to book him well, the way to end this is for him to get the belt. I really think he needs to get the belt. At some point here, without turning heel, obviously, so it would have to be after Kofi loses it, but yeah, I think he needs the belt, but man, they're booking Owens well right now, and I'm really happy about it. Speaking of Kofi, he defended WWE Championship against Samoa Joe. Oh, man, I love Kofi as champion, but, why have they fucked Joe so much, man? Kofi beat him clean in less than 10 minutes. 9 minutes and 45 seconds is all it took for Kofi Kingston to beat Samoa Joe clean. Samoa Joe at this point is basically like the new Bray Wyatt. A guy who's super talented and always over with the crowd, but just can't win shit, Just can't win shit, and at least Bray got a WWE title run. Joe hasn't even gotten that yet. So fuck. One of my people in my stream the other day told me that they think that if Joe doesn't win the title in next year, he might just leave. He should just leave. And yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, Joe should have really gotten it. But anyway, we move on to the main event. Rollins and Lynch versus Corbin and Lacey Evans. Both a world title match. Both titles are on the line. The Universe title and the Rollins title. So, what's the word? Winners take all. That's it. 19 minutes and 55 seconds for this one. Longest match of the night. There was not a match over 20 minutes tonight. This match was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best thing on the card, which, the main event should be, but it's not, AJ and Ricochet was better than this. Black and Cesaro was better than this. The opening tag match was better than this. Lashley and Strowman was better than this. It wasn't bad, but I mean, Also at the beginning of the match, they tried to zoom in on Lacey's, the top of Lacey's ass because she had Seth on her trunks, but she bent over, so Matt just did a big zoom in shot almost up her ass. That was funny. But Rollins and Lynch won, thankfully. So Corbin and Evans don't get any more title opportunities, thankfully. However, as soon as the match ended... Oh, by the way, the ending was actually really cool, though. The ending was really cool. Because Corbin actually hit the end of days on Lynch, and then Rollins got pissed and fucking beat the shit out of Corbin with a chair and curb stomped him 3 times and pinned him. That was awesome. I did not see him coming. And he looked at Rollins and said, "What are you going to do about it, you piece of shit?" As much shit as I give Corbin, he's still a great heel. I give him a lot of shit because he's not good on the mic, he's not good in the ring, but he is a great heel. I will give him that. After the match was over, though, here comes the Bork. Brock Lesnar comes out, cashes in the Money in the Bank, hits 2 German suplexes and an F5, and that's it. Brock Lesnar is a 3-time Universal Champion. Saw that coming, but, Rollins will get the rematch at SummerSlam. Hopefully Seth wins the belt back. Hopefully. Because if he doesn't, Lesnar's holding it till probably the Rumble. And oh god. There goes that big red belt again. It's gone once again. So, that's going to do it for my review of Extreme Rules. Again, overall, good show. Really good show. Probably the best B pay-per-view of the year. Probably second best pay-per-view of the year aside from Mania, in my opinion. Up next is WWE Smackville, which is a weird fucking 1-hour thing they're showing next week. I'm not even going to count that. We have NXT TakeOver Toronto coming up. As far as the next main roster pay-per-view, though, it's SummerSlam. Currently, we have 6 matches scheduled for SummerSlam. Lesnar versus Rollins for the Universal title. Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the Raw Women's title, because, Canada. Bayley versus the Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's title. Kofi versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. Apparently, if Owens loses, he'll quit. And Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, which is maybe going to be Demon versus Fiend. That ought to be fun. But that is my review for WWE Extreme Rules 2019. Great show. Coming up, reviews, TakeOver Toronto, SummerSlam, All Out, NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. That all sounds fun. But I don't know if I'm going to do a thing for Smackville, because that's a stupid name. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my review for Extreme Rules. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, be sure to like it. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, they're all in the description. Thank you to all 17 of my Patrons, by the way, for helping support both my channels. I appreciate you guys. But with all that being said, my name is Noah. This has been my review for WWE Extreme Rules 2019. Sorry, it's like 90 degrees here. I'm sweating like a motherfucker. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.